Hey YouTube, it's OJ Samurai 6 here. I just got finished with day 2 of Nationals. I finished 5 wins, 4 losses. I'm actually more interested in telling you the story about the early qualifier than I actually am the Nationals, but at the Nationals I went against everything you'd imagine, except for one rogue deck. I just had one rogue deck, and then everything else was the meta that you're expecting. But yeah, I used StarKnights, 3 Altar, 3 Deneb. I got to draw the Deneb a lot, so I'm glad. 1 Vega, 1 Unu Kalhai, 1 Alsam. That won me quite a bit of matches. Played a pretty big mind game too, because sometimes I would just search it out, or I'd Triver and have a Call of the Haunted and this Grave. It's just, can you even win now? And 1 Rigel. Surprisingly enough, this actually wasn't at all used for the main purpose, which is to run over the Djinn-lock. I only got Djinn-locked once against one of the Necros players I played, and I just mirror forced it. Then 3 Star Seraph Scepter, 3 Star Seraph Sovereignty. This little combo was ridiculous. Every single time I pulled it off, I ended up winning. I pulled it off quite a bit too. That's the Frontier spells. 1 Raigeki, 3 Reinforcement of the Army, 2 Mystical Space Siphon, and I decided to play 2 Upstart Goblins to make it a smaller deck. This was alright. If it was late game and I had stick chaired and made all the pluses, I would a lot of the times just set this as a bluff. It did get me to my combo pieces sometimes. 3 Alpha Nova, 3 Call of the Haunted, 3 Fiendish Chain. Yeah, I bumped Fiendish back up to 3. I was pretty happy I did that. 1 Vanity's Emptiness, 2 Mirror Force, 2 Dimensional Prisons, and 2 Mind Crush. The extra deck, which changed a little bit, 2 Deltros, 2 Triver, 1 Ragnamod, 1 Exton, 1 Castel. Coming up is probably the biggest change, 1 Lavolval Chain. This would a lot of the times get me my stick chair combo if I drew one without the other. That helped out quite a bit. 1 Diamond, that made the shit-all matchup way too easy. 1 Emerald. Believe it or not, I actually did go into this. Unlike at the past 2 regionals and the YCS, I actually did finally go into that. 1 Silent Honoric. Here's another new card. 1 Tellarknight Ptolemaeus. I'm very glad I added this, because sometimes it can be hard to get 3 monsters on the field, but getting 2 monsters on the field generally isn't that big of a deal. 1 Rhapsody in Berserk, Bestdweller, I'm not sure if I ever made that, and Cowboy, which I actually did use to go into game. I was using the cool deck sleeves. Side deck, 1 Thunder King, 3 Imperial Ironwall, 1 Mystical Space Siphon, 2 Anti-Spell Fragrance. Ooh, this was probably the best side deck card. This was so ridiculous against Cliff Orts. Made that matchup way too easy. 1 Fairy Wind, 2 Flying Seas, 2 Stygian Dirge. I was playing 3 Stygian Dirge, 1 Flying Sea, but then I changed. Yeah, you guys know what I did. But I was seeing more Burning Abyss than StarKnights, which ironically, at Nationals there were more StarKnights than Burning Abyss. For some reason, Burning Abyss just disappeared. I don't know what happened to it. 1 Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, 2 Defusion. You might say I didn't cite enough for Shaddolls, but I really had no fear for that matchup. I 2-0'd it every single time. It was just... I'm sorry, Michael, but playing against your deck is way too easy. And now for the early qualifier that I went to, round 1, I played against Shaddol, and I 2-0'd. That match was over in less than 10 minutes. We were the first ones done. The guy apparently didn't know what turn player priority was because I didn't do anything that would activate chains, and he just activated something. It's just, bro, I have turn player priority. You can't do that. Round 2, I played against the StarKnights 2-0. Round 3, this is the reason I'm telling you guys how I did in the early qualifier. Because round 3, I played against Sorab Pasikani. I'm probably really butchering his name, but if you don't know who he is, look him up. If you've looked him up and still don't know who he is, there is something really wrong with you, and maybe you should get new hobbies. But that is the guy that went undefeated in a YCS using Volcanics. Ironically, he was actually using Volcanics when I went against him. I ended up 2-0'ing him. In round 4, I played against Necros. I won game 1, and then he kind of like OTK'd me the very next games. But I wanted to show you guys this, 1, because I went against Sorab, and 2, to prove to you guys how easily these 4-round qualifiers are. They are unbelievably easy. I did want to enter another, but by the time I was done with that, they were actually done doing the early qualifiers. But yeah, so I was literally 1 dual win away from getting my invite to next year's. But whatever. I'm not too afraid of just going to a regionals and getting it. So yeah, comment, like, and subscribe, guys. Bye. Oh yeah, one more thing. Ethan, the Dragon Duelist, actually made day 2 using Yosenju's. I didn't get a chance to record him after Nationals, but I got to on, I believe, Wednesday, which, as you can tell, that was a long time before Nationals. So, he didn't really know as much with the deck. I'm going to really have to do a lot of editing with that video, but yeah, Ethan did in fact make day 2 to Dragon Ball Nationals. Ended up getting apparently 11th place, which that's the same exact place he got day 1. But here's finally the interesting part. So there were 7 rounds. He lost the first 2, then won the next 5 in a row. That was pretty cool. Oh yeah, the final cool thing was the very last round of Dragon Ball Nationals, day 1. He played against the Dragon Ball player that got first place at the 150th Dragon Ball Weiss. One final thing I wanted to say, at this Nationals, there were actually 2,006 people, so this was actually the biggest Nationals I've ever seen before.